And this important development that takes place, even as the practice of sharecropping carries on, is the development of synthetic indigo. By the Germans. Synthetic indigo by the Germans. The Germans developed synthetic indigo. Now, the organic indigo that was being grown in India, or that the Indian sharecroppers were being forced to grow, became an unsellable commodity in the European market. And the British were in a fix. Once again, they called all the Indian farmers. They called all the Indian farmers at one place and threw at them one very important question. The question was, how many of you want to be relieved from this irksome arrangement. Irksome arrangement. How many of you? Asked the Indian farmers. The British asked the Indian farmers. How many of them wanted to be relieved from this irksome arrangement? All the Indian farmers said yes. All right. The British said, okay, we will relieve you. The British said, okay, we will relieve. However, we relieve you. That simply means we will not have any indigo to sell in the European market. That means we will not have any indigo. They did not disclose the entire thing. That means the meaning of our relieving you is that we will not have any indigo to sell. That means we will suffer a great loss. So because we stand to incur a loss, therefore you, that is the Indian farmers, must compensate us for the loss. Compensate us for the loss. Must compensate us for the loss. The Indians waited anxiously as to the manner in which they would have to compensate the British for the loss that they stood to incur because of their being relieved from this irksome arrangement. And the method was that the British, that the Indian farmers would have to pay them a certain amount of money. So, fine, handful of them arranged money from here and there, and threw them in the face of the British and got relieved. However, there were a large number of the Indian farmers who still continued to languish in this irksome arrangement because they had no money. They employed lawyers, but to no use. Fine. It is the development of another important incident, the occurrence of another important incident that brings Gandhi to this place. A little later, and remember, those were the times when the Indians did not have access to any means of communication. The poor Indians poor Indian farmers did not have access to means of communication. They learned somehow the real reason of their being relieved from the irksome arrangement by the British. The real reason was that Europe, Germany especially, had developed synthetic indigo, and because the organic indigo being grown by them in India did not have any market in Europe as a result of, therefore they were being relieved. There was a lot of heartburn, unpleasantness among the Indians who had paid money to the British to be relieved. There was a lot of resentment, unpleasantness, bad blood. They wanted their money back. They wanted their money back, the money that the British had illegally and deceitfully extorted, from the British, from the Indians rather. The money that the British had illegally and deceitfully extorted from the Indians. They wanted the money back. But who would stand up against the British and ask for this money? So it is at this juncture that Gandhi enters Champaran. It is at this juncture that Gandhi enters Champaran. And thinking that Shukla was not in a position to tell him the correct sequence of events, thought in terms of meeting prominent people in Champaran. So the first person that he goes to meet in Champaran is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And he was then at that point a very prominent lawyer. And Rajkumar Shukla, together with other sharecroppers, would frequently go to Dr. Rajendra Prasad to seek some kind of assistance, some or the other kind of assistance from the suppression of the British. So Gandhi, in the company of Rajkumar Shukla, visits Dr. Rajendra Prasad's place. But Rajendra Prasad was out of town, and Rajendra Prasad's servants recognized Shukla, but they did not recognize Gandhi, whom they took to be an untouchable. And untouchability was a very strong issue, social issue at that particular point in time. So the servants, thinking that Gandhi was an untouchable, and there was no way they could have found out that Gandhi was not an untouchable, they denied Gandhi the permission to draw water from their well. Very important incident. Very, very important incident.